Guys, why is there a bunch of clown porn on my phone?
I don't know, probably math.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do.
Guys, you can't keep using my phone for this stuff.
I have my own phone.
Really?
He has a toy filled with jelly beans and covered in bluey stickers.
That sounds about right.
I wish you could just get me my own phone.
First off, I can barely afford my own phone. Who's walking around with an iPhone 10 in 2025? Second of all, you gotta be careful what you wish for. That's the plot of tonight's story. Welcome back to Scared of the Dark. It's the only show where we go over each and every episode of the Are You Afraid of the Dark series. And today we have a very special episode with The Tale of the Twisted Claw. And what makes this episode special is because it's actually the first episode ever made. It aired 2 years before the actual debut of the series because Nickelodeon had originally placed it as a sort of a Halloween special, but it's more of a pilot for what would be Are You Afraid of the Dark? But they released it in the Halloween of 1990, so it's going to look a little bit dated.
The whole show is 30 years old. It's all dated.
Even still, the producers believed in the quality of this Halloween special so much, they made it its own series. The Tale of the Twisted Claw is the story of two boys that accidentally accept a cursed item, and it gives them monkey paw style wishes. Sure, we've seen it before, but have we seen it with a teenage biker gang? I think not. Now, let's make a wish and watch Tale of the Twisted Claw. Our story kicks off with a boy sleeping peacefully in bed before he's suddenly awoken by a midnight visitor. It appears the ghost of Christmas future is stalking this child, but we cut to the Midnight Society before anything happens. Turns out nothing is going to happen either because Eric never bothered to come up with an ending to this story. But the jump scare sure was cool. The society is still peeved at him anyway because his story wasn't even a story, so David comes in to save the day by telling a story he just crafted. So we get back to David's stories, with tonight being the Tale of the Twisted Claw. The tale starts on the night before Halloween, so already I'm bought in. I love a good Halloween story. But anyway, on this night we see two kids, Kevin and Dougie, playing pranks on unsuspecting neighbors before they come across the ultimate target, the neighborhood witch, Miss Clove. It looks like their prank veered a little too close to assault, but Miss Clove already seems to be coming up with her revenge. Later on, we see Dougie at home preparing for his night of trick-or-treating, trying to scare his dad, who simply does not give a shit. Kevin eventually shows up, and the boys hit the streets as the dynamic duo of Hobo and Old Man with Jaundice. After some candy collecting, the boys walk past Miss Clove's house, and Kevin decides the two should pay her another visit. Apparently, old Miss Clove doesn't get any visitors on Halloween, as she's very confused about the kids coming by, but quickly offers to let them inside. The kids, obviously not learning stranger danger, walk into the woman's house on the promise of receiving a special treat. Miss Clove comes back offering the boys not candy, but a mummified claw of a vulture, which has the power to grant 3 wishes. Dougie reluctantly takes the claw off her hands while she issues a final warning.
Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it.
So both kids are kind of troublemakers, but Kevin seems to be like a real bad influence. The kids got right up in Clove's face and basically revealed their identities the night before, and then Kevin thinks that their costumes are going to protect them, but his costume doesn't even hide his face at all. And then Dougie just takes his mask off immediately. So what are they even doing?
That's sociopath behavior if I ever saw it.
They wanted to be caught. They wanted that old woman to know she's not safe.
Maybe we should root for the claw.
I mean, I can't say I disagree with that. The kids need to learn some kind of lesson. I mean, you can't just go around terrorizing the elderly, no matter what holiday it is. Well, let's just tune in and see what happens. As the boys walk back home, they talk about how odd that encounter was, and Dougie sarcastically says he wishes he could go home and stop trick-or-treating. Suddenly, the claw twists in Dougie's hand and he drops it, but Kevin says he's just freaking out from the witch's house. As the two boys continue trick-or-treating, they accidentally stumble upon a group of teenagers that quickly surround them and nab their candy. After a little bit of a scuffle, Kevin and Dougie manage to slip away and take off running, while the teens chase them on their bikes. Eventually, the boys manage to hide from the teens, and an upset Kevin reprimands Dougie for making that stupid wish before leaving him to go back home. The next day at school, Kevin starts mocking Dougie with a claw and decides to give it another test run, using it to wish he can beat the class athlete Bostic in the 600-meter sprint for the first time. At gym class, all the boys line up in the grass to start the run, and Bostic pulls ahead to a sizable lead quick. Eventually, it's just Bostic and Kevin in the firm 1 and 2 positions way ahead of the pack. But as the boys turn the final corner, a stray dog dashes out onto the track and knocks Bostic's legs out from under him, allowing Kevin to leap ahead and get his first victory. Kevin celebrates his win, but it's short-lived as he realizes Bostic is seriously hurt, and he probably made a big mistake with the claw. So we've seen the claw at work, and the boys have used up 2 of their 3 wishes. But really, nothing overtly supernatural has happened just yet. I mean, you can't really claim you're cursed just because you saw a dog and you got robbed once.
I rob people all the time.
I see dogs all the time.
See, sometimes you're not cursed at all. Maybe the real answer is that you just associate with terrible people. And that could be the real life lesson of the episode all along. Well, the story is heating up fast, and if Monkey Paw stories go the way I think they do, this last wish is going to be a doozy, so let's tune in and find out. Kevin and Dougie are hanging out at Dougie's place while his parents are out. Kevin seems to have gotten over his guilt for Bostic's broken leg and is enjoying his tiny gold medal for winning the race. Dougie is concerned about everything going on with the claw, the bullies, and Bostic, and is mostly concerned about how his parents will react when they find out the things he's done in the past few days. Kevin is getting tired of Dougie complaining about his parents, so he snatches the claw and says he wishes Dougie lost his parents. Even if that's an accident, that's still a real messed up thing to say. After the claw moves, the phone rings and Dougie answers. On the other end of the line is a police officer claiming that Dougie's parents have been in a serious car accident. Dougie rips the phone off the wall, refusing to hear any more of it. Freaking out, Dougie picks up the claw and wishes his grandpa were alive again because he would know exactly what to do. To his surprise, the claw moves, proving that the boys get 3 wishes each and not 3 total. But now the boys have a much bigger problem. A car just pulled up to the driveway, and it could be carrying the shambling corpse of an old man. Kevin realizes that, and he still has 1 wish, and he wants to use it to wish the undead man away. But Dougie tries to stop him, saying that's the wrong wish to make. Eventually, Dougie gets the claw and simply wishes that the boys never pranked Miss Clove in the first place, and apologize for disturbing her at all. After the wish, the claw disappears, but there's still someone at the front door, so Dougie goes to answer.
Sorry, we forgot our keys.
Opening the door, Dougie only sees his parents, proving that they weren't in an accident at all. The phone is placed back in the wall, and Kevin's medal is gone. Everything is back to normal the way it should be. Suddenly, another person rings the doorbell, and the boys only see an intact vase with a note saying trick or treat. So did the boys really learn a lesson? It's hard to find out because they didn't really even think of Miss Clove until the very end. And even then, they weren't really remorseful of anything they had done. They just wanted things to go back to normal because they were scared of the claw. So did they learn a lesson? Or, is it the same as like you make a bad choice at the soda fountain and you just dump it out and get another one? I don't know. I'm not good at analogies, but I just feel like it wasn't an earned ending. Or earned inning, but I have to give David his props here. This was a much better story than last week. I mean, he really wasn't afraid to ramp up the stakes on those last few wishes.
Dead parents and a zombie grandpa? That's a huge jump from dog on the track.
I know, and that phone call for the dead parents came so smoothly, it could have just been another unfortunate coincidence. I mean, they really didn't tip their hand that this is a supernatural event until the very, very end. You just don't see horror stories with that kind of restraint these days. The Tale of the Twisted Claw really worked with its low budget to kind of give us the best it could with this Monkey Paw style story, but the ending was a little unearned. But I can look past that because it kind of experimented with some fun stuff in the kids' television space. So for that, I'm going to have to give The Tale of the Twisted Claw 4 wishes out of 5. Check it out. And if you do happen to break into an old lady's home to cream her in the face, pause. Make sure you don't break her vase, or else she's going to curse you with some kind of item. You never know what it's going to be. They happened to get the monkey paw this time. It could have been, I don't know, Sukuna's finger from Jujutsu Kaisen. Nerd shit. I don't know, dude. Just don't spray women in the face with cream. You know, that's weird. That's weird and illegal. I'll catch you guys next time. VHS Dinosaur goes to Afraid of the Dark. Are you that?
Get some candy, boys.
Candy's bad for you. Gives you cavities.